Hello, everyone, and welcome to a completely normal episode of Friendly Fire. I am Thomas, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Sam.
And we have some probably special guests here in the studio that we'll reveal here in a minute after this completely normal intro. So we'll see you back in a second. And we are back. As I mentioned before the break, we have some special guests today.
Yeah, they're not here right now, apparently.
No, actually.
Oh, hey.
What's up? Wow. Where did they come from?
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
They just showed up.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So one of the other shows that we produce here at KMOS PBS is a show called ReelTime RoundTable, hosted by...
I'm Jordan.
I'm Josh.
And we decided to do a little collaborative effort this week, so make sure to stay tuned whenever this gets posted in probably a couple of months, because I keep forgetting to upload it, when we will be on ReelTime RoundTable as well. But in the nature of both shows coming together as a collaborative effort, we're going to be talking about various movie-related things, specifically movie theater-related things.
Theater.
Oh, listen, I got a little bit of
theater.
I got a little bit of brain damage.
Theater. Okay, well, we're going to just start off with your best or worst movie experience that you've ever had. Just like generally.
Best or worst movie experience?
Do you want to start with best one, or do you want to get straight to worst?
I can't really remember my worst one, so I put best or worst, so you can do either or, because I can't remember things.
Gotcha.
The best, okay. I have like the best, it's just a general thing that have happened. One of my exes used to work at one of the movie theaters that I live near, and so we'd get like really cheap movie tickets, so a lot of our dates were at a movie theater. I saw a lot of movies in that 6-month time period. But ever since then I have not. But that was always really fun to have like, oh, you could take me to the movie theater and I don't have to pay for anything. And I think he gets free food too. It was really nice. So that was probably the best that I can think of. No specific experience, but that's what I got.
I mean, those are always really nice. Like from my YouTube channel, my theater down in Clinton sponsors me, so that happens. I get to at least bring a guest and something, like,
That's fun.
to get like tickets and all that stuff. I give a shout out to them when I review their movies and a commercial that they made for them. So that's always really fun. It feels really nice just to walk in like, I get to go see
you
a
walk
movie.
in like you own the place. Actually.
What's up, guys? Mine honestly was back in 2014. I had never seen an IMAX movie before, and so it was in Des Moines. I was on vacation, and I took my godson to see Interstellar at like a dome legit IMAX
that's so
theater.
Cool.
And just seeing especially something like Interstellar in an IMAX was like just mind blowing for me. But it was so much fun. I had a great time. It's just one of those things I'll never forget for me. What about you, Thomas?
Speaking of things I'll never forget, not the best experience I've ever had, but certainly the worst experience I've ever had was going to see Jurassic World Dominion about a year and a half ago. So there's an AMC back near my hometown. It's a little bit we went to a lot when I was a kid, and it was one of those ones that was like, at the time it was really nice because they had like the table in front of you, and you would order food while you were there, and they'd serve you like during the previews. You'd eat your food, and then they'd like come clear the stuff out of the way, and it was really nice. Unfortunately, time has passed, and it's looking pretty rough in there. And I haven't been back to this theater, specifically like the dine-in part. I forget what they call it. It's like Fork and Screen or something like that. I hadn't been back there in probably 10 years, and we went to see Jurassic Park Dominion. It was a last-minute movie pick. I was with my parents. We were just looking for something to do. And it was so run down. The seats were ungodly uncomfortable. There was like no padding left. I would also like to mention, we saw it in this theater, but we didn't order any food. I don't even think they were offering the food. I think it was just in one of those theaters still. And first of all, Jurassic Park Dominion is just not a very good movie. It was rough to get through.
Disappointing.
The whole thing was so boring, and there was a group of probably 15 like early high school girls in there who were talking the entire time. And there was like
later.
They had like
We'll get to that later.
They had like one ringleader who was like I assume a parent or older sibling or something, who was trying to quiet them all down, doing her best and like almost yelling. She's like, shh, shh.
So sorry to audio.
That's even worse.
That is
worse. Yeah, no, literally. I was like, what are you guys doing?
What about you? Do you have a best or worst?
I completely forgot that IMAX theaters existed until you said that.
Oh my-
I remember the first time I went, it was life-changing. I think we saw like a National Geographic about jazz music and like the evolution of jazz music.
That's fun.
Interesting.
That was so fun. But I think my favorite theater experience is the very first movie I saw in theaters, which was The Chronicles of Narnia, the second one, Prince Caspian. I'm a huge Narnia kid. I've always been.
I love the first
I
one
love
so
that
much.
makes
They're good.
sense.
But my dad took me, and I feel like we were the only two in the theater. I was a kid when it came out. I was a youngin'. But I went with my dad, and we had like a daddy-daughter date that we go on.
So
It was just,
cute.
and then it opened my mind to movies, and the rest is history. But that's my favorite.
One other one for me, I got two that are like tied for like the worst, but I'll get to one that's like one of my best experiences, which really what actually got me back into film and filmmaking is when I saw Whiplash in the theaters. As a guy that just got out of the military, I was, I had like 2 months before I went back to started college, so I was watching a ton of movies.
Yeah.
And I saw Whiplash in the theaters, and just, I don't know, seeing that movie, the filmmaking of it, like ignited something in me that like, made me want to just like review movies, learn the filmmaking more aspect of it more. So that to me, that one is like kind of, I guess, it's more of like an influential one. We'll get to that later, sorry.
Yeah.
But my two worst experiences ever at a movie theater, not including people, was I went and saw, it was like I just started out reviewing movies for my channel. I went and saw this little animated movie called Norm of the North, starring Rob Schneider. And it's about a polar bear who talks and farts
Oh.
and goes to the city, and people can somehow just hear him talk. It's like, and talk.
right.
And I walked out, I had a physical negative reaction to this movie.
Oh my God.
I walked out and like, my friend saw, he was the manager, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, my head hurts so much right now. it hurt so much.
Oh.
Another one for me was, we'll talk about them too, like adaptations. I was so excited. The trailer got me excited. It's for Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
With
I've
Michael
heard bad
Fassbender.
things about Assassin's
I
Creed.
forgot that
I saw that movie. I saw the trailer. I was hyped, and this goes back to that always thing like trailers are just trailers. Doesn't necessarily mean the movie's gonna be good or bad.
I've been a victim to that many times.
Yeah. So I was in there hyped, and
Oh.
I didn't mean to do this. After the movie was over, I just stood there, and the lights came up, and I just blurted it out. I didn't even realize it did it because everyone laughed afterwards. But I was like, "Well, that sucked." Everyone just burst out laughing into tears. I didn't realize I said it, but I looked around and everyone was laughing. I'm like, "Oh, well, it did suck." Like I was extremely disappointed. I was so mad because again, we'll get back to adaptations. Like certain movies or certain things that are adapted from like games or books. Yeah, it's based on the material. So that was a really big one for me.
I have one experience that I don't know if I can categorize as the worst. It's really quick before we move on, but
Yeah.
I saw Aquaman in 4D.
Oh,
What is
God.
4D?
It is
okay.
it, like you
Is that
can,
like with a
yeah. So
channels.
it was like the concept of 4D is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like the concept, the ideas of it, like to be experienced in the movie, it's a cool idea. In execution, and also the way. Okay, I'm getting mad about it now. So maybe it was my worst. Basically, like they'd spray you with water if there's water. And it's
Yeah.
Aquaman, so you're getting sprayed with water a lot.
You are?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
not like a
I was
lot.
gonna
It's
say
like
it's a
it's like
joke.
a mist.
Yeah,
And
so
they
it's-
like spray like air at you, and then they shake the seats move, and they.
There's like a smell thing too.
Yes, there is. Really
Yeah.
fun. So and then there's
Smell
parts where
fish.
whenever they would like fall, they try to simulate that by like you feel like something like poking your back. So they would just kind of like. It's like if someone like pokes your back or like your butt, and I was like, I feel like I'm being violated in this theater right now. So I feel like I would have enjoyed Aquaman a lot more if I saw it normally.
I have a question. Did you know that it was going to be 4D? When
Yeah,
you
we went.
Okay.
My entire family went together as like
So-
a family family outing because we thought it'd be fun, and all of us were like, "That was not fun," but we all bonded over it.
My first experience with 4D, very similar. Didn't know what I was getting into, but I was like, I went and saw Thor Ragnarok when it came out
Oh.
with two of my best friends
Ooh,
from
that's
back
a fun
home,
movie.
and we went and saw it. It was a great movie. It was a great time. But I was like, man, and I feel like this is a lot more normal now. And I was like, man, why is each ticket $17? What? And again, didn't think anything of it. It was just the showtime that worked for us. Didn't think anything. We get in there like, man, these are really big, bulky chairs. And then, and then the
start
first
shaking.
scene starts, and we're getting shook around and like split. And the other thing is that for Thor, there's like strobe lights in the theater.
Oh yeah, there is.
So when there's like bright
When there's
flashes
like a flash
or
of lightning, it'll
explosions.
flash in the room with you.
So in Thor, it's constant. We're
theater
getting
isn't
like
already-
flash banged and shaking
I'm
around.
never going to a movie like this ever.
You
No,
should
it was-
just to say that you have. You might. Well, maybe not.
Like I was
It was
going to
the
ask
only
you
one
as
I
a
ever
joke
did.
if they sprayed you with water,
No,
but
they
then you
do.
were serious.
Yeah,
and-
it'll
They
like
do.
spritz you with water.
But,
The worst, they had 3 smells that we could remember. There was the smell of grass, the smell of liquor, if you could call it that. It was just so strong and like sour. And then there was the smell of like, it smelled like dirt. I don't remember what it was supposed to be. It was strange.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
we have to send it over to our mid-show segment really quick before we come back. We got so invested that I'm glad we got to this far. So we're going to send it over to Sam and Thomas of the past or the future, whichever one it ends up being.
We're outside today. It's a beautiful day out.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we got to do this. I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping, but it's very
The
nice.
birds, they're having a good time.
They're chirping. So today we don't have the bingo wheel, as you can tell, because we're talking about birthdays today. Because this dude, this bro, this man had his birthday recently.
Yeah, I'm old.
Turned-
What about it?
He turned 22. What'd you do for your birthday?
Literally the day of my birthday, I tried to pop my back, and it like popped wrong,
Oh no.
and it's hurt ever since.
Yeah, no, you're definitely. Now I just have constant joint pains, so I get that. Once you turn 22, your life starts to go downhill.
Good news for all you cool cats who peaked in high school, because you're not missing out. Peaking in high school, you're in your prime.
You're in your prime.
All downhill from there.
It's all downhill.
22, all
Taylor
downhill.
Swift? Wrong. Can I say that?
I thought that was Izayah at first.
I did too. Is it not? I think
Let's
it
just say
is.
Izayah. Yeah, I don't think it's Izayah.
It,
It is Izayah.
it is! Hi! Birthday.
Destiny fulfilled. I built a Lego train,
Oh, congratulations.
and that was pretty much it.
You know, this is going to be really funny because this is going to come out like way after your birthday if it's playing.
Excuse us, we're trying to film here. Okay, you're at
little
a
bit
10.
rude.
Let's take it into a 1. We're a hot mess this season.
Yeah, you know what? Is what it is.
Hey, we've been rambling for a while. Should we end?
Yeah, I just feel like we haven't rambled about birthdays enough. That's probably long enough. It's such a nice day out, man.
Go
Anyways,
outside. Go touch grass.
yeah,
There's some
please,
grass
go touch
around.
grass. You really
That's
probably
mulch.
need to. Thanks for joining us on Bingo Brain.
Is
Is that the name of this
no.
segment now? We're gonna send it back over to them.
Go to the episode.
Yeah!
I don't think we've ever meandered more.
I don't either.
Wow, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Glad that could be a good thing
Happy
for
birthday,
you.
Thank you. I'm old
Anyway,
now.
You're old like me.
I aged during
I can
that
see
moment,
grays
actually.
right now. forming
welcome to
in
the
your
club.
Man, I'm really that
Club,
much
man.
better.
All right.
Anyways.
So, I want to get into whether you think book adaptations are better as a movie or TV series, because I've had some opinions on that one.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm a huge Percy Jackson fan, and with the TV show happening after the movies were such a fail, I'm like living for it. My inner child is healing seeing this TV show. So I'm like, oh, TV show, because you can go through each chapter and you can go through each like book with like the,
Yeah.
But also, because some people don't want to wait forever to see an entire book. Like maybe like I don't know.
So we talked about this briefly. To me, it's a very complex answer because it depends upon the material. Like something like The Last of Us definitely should be a TV show.
yeah.
You dive
Nailed
into
it.
characters, you dive into like really hardcore story, especially from a game aspect of it. But something like Uncharted, like with Tom Holland, that was fine as a movie.
Right.
You don't need to make a TV show about a bunch of adventures happening constantly, where you can just make a simple adventure, treasure hunt and be done.
Yeah.
Or like Hunger Games is another for example. For me personally, they were fine as movies.
Yeah.
They were perfect as movies. They didn't need to be no TV shows. So I think it just depends upon the material, which is why I'm curious to see now that they're adapting Harry Potter again as a TV show
They are?
on Max. Yes.
They are.
Oh.
Oh,
I know
that came out a long time ago. Yeah, J.K. Rowling is executive producing, and they're going to be adapting every book. But I think every book is going to be a season. So
mean,
they're going to
Interesting.
That's what's
Interesting.
happening for Percy Jackson, I think.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes because I feel like even the movies for Harry Potter were great.
I thought the movies were fine.
Yeah.
For the since I grew up with the Percy Jackson fanatic, when Harry Potter came out with like a movie series and they were going to say, oh, we're going to do a movie series for Percy Jackson, I was so thrilled because the Harry Potter movies were so good and they did so well for themselves.
Right.
But I don't know, they kind of screwed over the movies. Like even the author explicitly stated, I'm not including anything that was part of the movies because I'm not going to give attention to something that was so bad.
Yeah.
So, but do you have any opinions on it?
I also think it depends. I'm glad you said Hunger Games. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Those were perfect as movies. I feel like if they were made into a TV show, it might lose the impact a little bit.
Yeah.
But I personally like when books are made into TV shows, because then you have a longer time to create all of that impact that the book had. You have time to go in detail with each character that the book shows you. You can't really do that with a 2-hour
Especially
movie.
the book lovers, usually the book lovers that like have read it first and then they're gonna have an adaptation. They usually want a TV series because they know that there's a lot of details you can't cover in a movie.
Right.
But some people don't have that type of patience to sit through
that's
like a bunch of shows.
I think it really depends on what it is, but I think that, you know, granted, I can't speak on this topic, I can't read, but for the most part, when you have a book, you have either there's the full-on structure, like that you think like a 3-act structure, that goes throughout the entire book, and that's the same with the movie is. So you go, oh, okay, well this will work best as a movie. But in some cases, it works better. You could do it like episodically because each chapter is, you know, got its own narrative arc. There's a beginning, middle, and end to a chapter.
That's true.
And again, it really depends on what you're doing, but I think that if you do something like that, then if you, I guess, pay the respect to the source material and actually figure it out, because, again, the weird example to pull from because it was from a video game, but like Last of Us worked great because it was already in chapters that were easily adapted into episodes. Do I think that everything needs to be adapted? No, not necessarily, but especially with books, that's a medium that I think is a lot more digestible.
Yeah, and certain things can translate well on the screen and certain things can't. Yep. Like for me, again, Assassin's Creed, we talked about it briefly, that would have benefited as a TV show. You could have died, that was meant to be a character piece. Whereas, I just had it. I lost it. I'll come back to me. And I lost the one that would benefit, like, would be fine as a movie series. Jack Reacher. It's a show called on Amazon Prime called Reacher, based on books. It could easily be a movie, but it's really good as a TV show as well. Like, one of those is just, like I said, depends on the source material. Like, what do you have one that's kind of your favorite? Like one that's been adapted that's been your favorite so far?
Oh, I already said Percy Jackson.
Okay.
He's hungry.
Percy Jackson. I liked the last season wasn't great, but The Runaways, Marvel's The Runaways, which was a comic book.
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons were really good. The 3rd season wasn't my cup of tea, but I love that one. That one was really good.
So, I want to get into some other genres. I want to know if your life was a movie, what genre would it be?
My life is a movie, what genre? I feel like mine would have to be comedy, right?
Probably.
I don't know what else it would be. Horror movie.
Tragedy.
Tragedy. What are the other?
I mean, I feel like coming of age is a cop-out answer.
Well, I was going to cop out and say it depends upon my time period of my life.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because back when I was like, I hate to, oh God. Back when I was your guys' age.
Back when I was your age. Okay.
Well, so when I was your guys' age, I was living in Las Vegas. So if you want to say, well, my time then was like a comedy.
Wow.
Because we were doing stuff that was just really stupid, but you look back on it, we had so much fun and it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost a friend once. We saw him with a hobo in an alleyway drinking whiskey.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was his birthday. We lost him.
And
we found him in an alleyway with a hobo drinking whiskey.
Well, good for him, I guess.
But now, I don't know, it's kind of an adventure film, I guess.
Ooh, fun.
For me, because I'm doing a lot of stuff even at my age, and helps, I don't know,
Aww.
helps keep me going.
I want mine to be a heist movie, but it won't be.
How would that even work? How
Yeah,
would
how
a
would
heist movie?
Do you need help robbing a bank or something?
I mean, I would say no.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
For legal reasons, it's a joke.
What do you have any idea?
But it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
What
I would
about you?
like to think comedy. I feel like throughout the day I just kind of do stupid little random things. Specifically, Adam Sandler. I feel like Adam Sandler can make a hilarious movie about my life, hopefully featuring Kevin James. Love Kevin James. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, who would Kevin James play?
Me. He would be me. Okay. Kevin James, I feel like he could portray my life perfectly.
I'm happy that you have that sorted out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate that.
Before we wrap up, I want to know what things that people do in the theaters that annoy you. You mentioned the people that were talking the whole time. Do you have anything else?
See, here's the problem: is that I know that I have beef with people who talk loudly during movies. I know I have historically tried to talk during movies. I think that
I'm pretty bad about it.
The thing that annoys me the most is if people just keep, and I think this is going to be a common one, but if people are in the theater or just watching any movie at home, whatever, saying like, "Oh, well, what do you think this is going to happen?" Like asking you as if you know. So here's the thing. This is also something I feel like I'm probably guilty of. And I know that I like to be like, oh, great, now this is going to happen. Like,
I do that too. I predict it and people get mad at me.
So I'm not going to say that
That's
I'm
not your
free
fault.
of blame.
It's not my fault that I learned how to predict things.
Continue.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. All
I
right.
can think of anything else.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Mine was just gonna be people talking in the theater, but because I remember when we went to see Five Nights at Freddy's, and this is fine. I feel bad saying this because I know people like especially in that movie theater, a bunch of kids that grew up on those games were in the theater
It's
watching
like
it.
opening night, too.
Yeah, it was like opening night. So people were watching it, they were excited, they were wanting to like make references and make jokes, and that's fine. That's fine. This is a me problem. I know that. I have a problem. So it was just like whenever people would out loud make jokes about what's happening in the movie when it doesn't happen in the movie. I don't have a specific thing, but I think it, oh my god, I can't remember. But or was that the Bite of 87?
Yeah.
I think is what happened. I heard like 4 people say it, and I was like, okay, haha, it's funny. Trying to watch a movie. But I'm also really bad about like, if you're next to me in a movie, you're gonna get all the questions like, oh my god, do you think when this happens, this? Oh my god, I'm gonna be whispering to you. I will, and I'm so sorry. I can't do anything
Sam, I
about
consider
it.
you a friend, but if we go to the movies together, you are not sitting next to me.
Sounds good. I'll make sure that
You can sit next to me.
I'm
in
gonna
this.
sit
one of my pet
directly.
peeves.
I'm gonna sit directly next to you.
And just
Hey, did you see that the pasta wasn't mixed in this scene, but it was in the other? That's not.
so that one's. I mean, I'll admit that one kind of gets to me. The
Right.
2 biggest ones for me. The fuck? Oh, anyway, sorry, I apologize.
You're good.
One of them for me is definitely cell phones. Like, if you have it before, fine. But if you have it
Right.
even during, if you have it lowered, like you're all the way, that's fine too. But if you literally have it all the way up like normal light, and you just are looking at your phone in front of people, it drives me insane. The last thing that drives me insane is people. It's a movie theater. Doesn't mean it's your, it's your place to hang out and just do whatever you want. You're a human being. Take your trash and put it in the trash can. Please,
Oh my
don't
God,
just
that
walk
bothers
off
me.
with your popcorn
Take your
bucket on the
trash.
floor.
Throw your trash away. There's
Throw
a
your
trash
trash
bin
away.
outside of the
Yeah.
theater.
By
It's
the
right
door.
there.
You have to pass it. Just,
Please.
it's not that hard.
People just walk off with them like, okay, it's just,
I know. You, before we finish up, what is
Yeah.
yours?
You.
When people, I don't mind talking because like we're cinephiles. Even yesterday on Cinema Sit, go watch Cinema Sit Down.
Go watch Cinema Sit
Go
Down.
watch Cinema Sit Down. Like we were making comments about it, and since we
Right.
study movies, I don't have a problem with that. But when people just do not, like, oh my gosh, oh did you see that? Oh that's great. Oh, be quiet. Or when people have already seen the movie that you're watching it with, and they're like, pay attention, pay attention. Let
I
me
do that.
figure
Oh
it
my
out
god,
on my
I'm
own.
guilty of doing that when it's like one of my passion movies where I'm like,
Did
if
I
they're
do
not paying
that
attention.
yesterday? I don't think I did.
I don't
No,
think
no,
so.
no.
Okay.
But okay. Anyways,
Okay.
we're being yelled at that we're running out of time, or we are out of time. So thank you
We're
so
just
much
too
for joining us today on Friendly Roundtable.
Friendly roundtable.
We will be on their episode later this week, or month, or week, whenever
Whenever
this
gets
these
posted.
episodes
I don't
come
know.
out.
Who
We
knows?
will
I'll
be on
be
their
posted on
show.
on
I
Thursday.
assume both will be up on
Friday.
the Red Digital
Friday.
YouTube channel. I know Friendly Fire
Eventually.
is going up on my YouTube channel, and ReelTime RoundTable is going up on Josh's YouTube channel, which is linked on mine. So if you're watching this on the Thomas Delzeit channel, go on my homepage and find
it.
his and theirs and a bunch of other people that are super cool that we work with.
All right, well-
Anyways, that's all the time we have today. Bye.
Bye.